I believe it became a part of us over time. We get a lot of ideas from Yoji and Kong. The powerful duo of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen won our hearts on TV with their skills and cute smiles. The famous twin girls became well known on the hit TV show Full House. They were famous as kids and used their skill and fame to build a multi-million-dollar fashion empire. This made them one of the most successful and important designers of their time. But even with all of that support, the twins have had a lot of personal problems on and off the show. What went wrong? Let's watch this movie to learn about the sad story of the Olsen twins. But before we get into the sad story of the Olsen twins, let's find out more about their early life and work. Right now is really tough, so I believe we should all enjoy. The Olsen twins' early life and work. Their birthday is June 13th, 1986, and they were born in Sherman Oaks, California. Their family had a lot going on. Their older brother was called Trent, and their younger sister, Elizabeth, became an actress. David Olsen and Jeanette finally got a divorce in 1995, which meant that they had two more siblings, Courtney Taylor and Jake, who were born from their dad's second marriage. From a very young age, the twins' lives were not like most kids. They got the part of Michelle Tanner on the hit ABC show Full House when they were only 6 months old. Jeff Franklin, who created the show, was blown away by the twins during an open casting call. He said they were so comfortable around strangers that it was strange. Because of rules about child labor that limited how long a child could work, Mary-Kate and Ashley took turns playing Michelle in that part for the whole 8-season run of the show, which finished in 1995. Mary-Kate and Ashley's quick rise to fame cost them a lot on a personal level. When the twins were 3 years old, their parents hired Robert Thorne as their manager. He was very important in starting Dual Star, an entertainment company that made the twins famous. This move gave them more power over things besides TV, like movies, books, music, and products. The Olsen twins were the youngest producers in Hollywood history by the time they were 6 years old. By age 10, they had made $1 million on their own. Even though they were successful, the twins' childhoods were not like most. Along with their role as stars in Full House, the Olsens started to play different roles in movies and TV shows. To Grandmother's House We Go, the first movie of this kind, came out in 1992 and had cameos by several other Full House stars. The Olsens started the company Dual Star in 1993. It would go on to make the twins' other movies and videos, such as Double, Toil and Trouble 1993, and How the West Was Fun 1994. The Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley was a line of musical mystery movies that started in 1994 and ran until 1997. After the end of Full House in 1995, the Olsens made their movie debut in It Takes Two, which also starred Steve Guttenberg and Kirstie Alley. In the same year, they started a second video series called You're Invited to Mary-Kate and Ashley's. New episodes kept coming out until 2000. The Olsens were in an episode of All My Children the next year. They came back as guest stars in an episode of Sister Sister in 1997. Also, the twins came back to TV in 1998 with the ABC comedy Two of a Kind, where Christopher Sieber played their character's widowed father. The show only had one season, but it was shown again and again on TV for a few years after that. In 1998, Billboard Dad came out. It was the first in a series of direct-to-video movies with the Olsens. The Challenge, the last movie of this type, came out in 2003. They played Bad Girl Sue and Carol Murphy on an episode of Seventh Heaven in 2000. They had lead roles in two new shows the following year, So Little Time, a live-action sitcom on Fox Family that later moved to a BC Family, and Mary-Kate and Ashley in Action, a cartoon show on a BC on Saturday mornings. There was only one season of each show, but Mary-Kate was nominated for an afternoon Emmy for her part in So Little Time. Early in 2004, the Olsens did voice work for an appearance on an episode of The Simpsons. They read Marge's book on tape, The Harpooned Heart. In that same year, they also starred in their second full-length movie, New York Minute. It was their last movie together and Ashley's last acting part. Mary-Kate kept working as an actress in movies and on TV. It was called Mary-Kate and Ashley's Fun Club, and it was open until 2000. Fans could buy pictures and collectibles there. They sent out a fan club magazine called Our Funzine, a catalog of collectibles like t-shirts, posters, and key rings, and surprise gifts like key rings or book excerpts, lyric sheets to their songs, a school folder, a membership card, a full-size poster, 2 black and white photos, one of each girl, and a color photo with reprint autographs. After 1998, they put ads for this club at the start of their movies. Teenagers and young adults loved Mary-Kate and Ashley in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Their brand included movies, clothes, shoes, bags, hats, books, CDs, perfumes and makeup, magazines, video and board games, dolls, posters, calendars, phones, and even CD players. Most of their products were aimed at tweens. From 2000 to 2005, Mattel made Mary-Kate and Ashley fashion dolls that came with clothes and other items. Do you know what the sisters' life was like when they weren't being filmed? What terrible thing happened to them? Check back to find out. How the twins live when they're not in the news. Not only did leaving the popular show Full House mean leaving a family, but it also meant figuring out how to live without them. Dave and Jeanette Olsen got a divorce in 1995, which broke up the twins' life of security. This wasn't just any split, it happened at the same time as the end of Full House and the fall of the company that made them famous. When their dad, Dave, worked in the banking business, he met Mackenzie and started dating her. This was before he quit and went to Hollywood. Their breakup was caused by this affair. Before anyone knew about the split, Dave got married to Mackenzie in just 1 month. The family was split up by a storm. Ashley skipped the wedding to stay with her mom while Mary-Kate went, which said a lot about how badly things were between the two. Dave tried to keep his cool by saying the girls were okay, but Jeanette didn't show how she really felt. Even though things were crazy at home, the twins tried to keep things normal. From 1996 to 1997, Mary-Kate talked about how they went to school, played with friends, and had sleepovers. They went to Episcopal School, Campbell Hall, a private school in Studio City that pushed kids to be curious and learn more about themselves. Really though, their lives were very different from the norm. Their jobs came first at all times. What if you had to host Saturday Night Live and had to miss your senior prom? That's exactly what took place. Instead of riding around in cars and dressing up, they were promoting their movie New York Minute. They made fun of it in their SNL opening. It wasn't easy for Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen to grow up popular. As they were becoming adults, they often had problems and had to deal with difficulties. What problems did they face, and how did they solve them? Let's find out. Has a hard time becoming an adult. Growing up was hard for Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, especially after their parents split up and the fame put a lot of pressure on them. There were reports about Mary-Kate's health in the early 2000s, which made her health problems even worse. Before she turned 18, she went to a rehab center for an eating problem. Her father and therapist helped her because they were afraid for her safety. Even though she tried to hide her problems, they became public when the twins went on Oprah Winfrey's show. They had a harder time because Oprah asked them about the rumors. In an interview in 2008, Mary-Kate, who is known for hiding her pain well, talked about her anorexia. She said it was hard to get help and be honest with herself. There were rumors that Mary-Kate was addicted to cocaine because she was very thin and the media showed her going to parties a lot. "You're so skinny, eat a sandwich." The twins laughed about it on Saturday Night Live. The truth, though, was very bad. Being legally guardians of her parents, Mary-Kate had little say over how she was treated when she was 17. During her first term at NYU, she chose outpatient treatment. But because of her own problems, that plan also fell through. Ashley Olsen has also had a lot of health problems over the years. She was diagnosed with late-stage Lyme disease in 2015. This made it hard for her to work and kept her out of the public eye. She looked tired and was often in a bad mood because of the disease. It was a hard time that showed how strong she was. In 2016, Ashley had another very scary health scare after having a bad experience with plastic surgery. The surgery caused necrosis, which made her face swell, bruise, and change color. To treat the illness, she had to go through intensive oxygen therapy, which had a big impact on her. Ashley is still open to future treatments, though she will be more careful about which ones she chooses now. These problems were just the start of what the twins would have to deal with in the future. It looks like life wasn't fair to them even when they were in college. How were the kids' days at college? Were they able to go about their daily lives? Stay tuned as we share these details, how the twins spent their time in college. Beginning in September 2004, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen looked forward to a normal college life at NYU. They bought an apartment in the West Village for $7.3 million but never moved in because they didn't want to live in a dorm. As soon as word got out that Mary-Kate was skipping classes, their college hopes quickly faded. Some people thought she might go on an independent study program to help her balance her life between New York City and Los Angeles. Mary-Kate eventually took a leave of absence, which led to rumors that she would go back to treatment for her eating problem, even though she already had a strong support system in place. Ashley soon did the same thing because she thought the stress of their fame made staying in school dangerous. Spencer Pratt, who was famous in the Hills, said in 2007 that he made $50,000 selling a picture of Mary-Kate drinking at a party. This caused a fight between the two, and Pratt said nasty things about her. The media was always looking at and taking advantage of their lives for profit. This was just one case. They dropped out of NYU not only to protect their privacy, but also to stay alive. Since their lives had been in papers long before they went to college, it was hard for them to fit in at college because of the fame that had made them famous. They didn't have much privacy because people were interested in them and tabloids were always looking for scandals. Mary-Kate and Ashley kept running their business company despite these problems. The Olsens were media darlings from the time their parents split up until they were teenagers. They later became fashion icons, even though they made a lot of straight-to-video movies and shows. They were often more famous for being famous than for the movies they were in. Ashley and Mary-Kate Olsen were closely watched by the media, which took away what little privacy they had. Why did the media pay so much attention to the twins? What did they learn? Watch to find out more. Media attention. In the early 2000s, as Mary-Kate and Ashley got closer to their 18th birthday, the rise of the internet made people even more interested, causing bothersome websites to count down the days until they can legally become adults in scary ways. On top of the problems that come with being child stars and becoming teenagers in public, they had to deal with more sexualization, which was a different kind of nightmare. Every part of their lives was looked at closely, and stories were often made up from the facts. Ashley learned this the hard way when she sued the National Enquirer for $40 million over a false photo and headlines that made it look like she was using drugs. The newspaper later said sorry, but the damage had already been done. There was constant, intrusive attention from the media on their lives, which made it hard to live a normal life. The Olsen twins' habits were found out. Over the years, people became very interested in the Olsen twins' smoking habits. In a 2003 Rolling Stone interview, they said they didn't drink or smoke, but when they started taking cigarette breaks while dressed in fashion, things changed. They liked smoking together so much that it became a rare glimpse into their private relationship, which may have added to their mystery. As they faded from public view, these pictures of them, cool and distant, always with a cigarette, stayed. Rachel Handler of Vultures wrote about this feeling and asked why pictures of the twins smoking seemed to make people feel better. In a harsher tone, Life and Style said that their smoking affected how they looked. On page 6, they talked about bowls of cigarettes at Mary-Kate's wedding, making their habit seem almost rebellious, like a small way to stand up to all the attention they were getting. But it also gave away that they were under a lot of stress and pressure. The fact that Mary-Kate was so dedicated to smoking, sometimes even putting her career at risk, showed how addicted they were, despite the chaos of their public lives. How did the twins handle their love lives while they were working? Let's find out. Marriage, relationships, and getting a divorce. People have always been interested in Mary-Kate Olsen's relationships, from artist Nate Lohman to her ex-husband Olivier Sarkozy and their son Max Winkler. There was one supposed romance that stood out because of how sad it ended. In 2008, there were reports that Mary-Kate was dating actor Heath Ledger. Reports say they were dating on the side for about 3 months, enjoying each other's company and having a love of Marlboro Reds. Their relationship was important in Mary-Kate's life, even though it was short. The world was shocked when Heath Ledger's apartment was found with him not moving. The massage Diana Wolozin, who found Ledger, called Mary-Kate twice before calling 911, according to the New York Times. At the time, Mary-Kate was in California, but she said she would send her private security to help. This event made them feel closer to each other. Wolozin called 911 and tried to rouse Ledger when he didn't answer. Sad to say, it was too late. Ledger died of an accidental overdose of prescription drugs, which casts a dark shadow over Mary-Kate. After Ledger's death, Mary-Kate allegedly refused to help investigators unless they could protect her from being charged again. The case was finally dropped because there were no more plausible suspects to look into. Back in October 2017, Ashley Olsen started going out with artist Louis Eisner. Eisner is Eric Eisner's son. He was the head of the Geffen Company and a generous person who started the Young Eisner Scholars Program. In July 2019, Olsen was seen wearing a ring, which led to reports that she was going to get married. They got married in Bel Air, Los Angeles on December 28, 2022. Their son was born in 2023. Olsen has been with Matt Kaplan, who used to play quarterback for Columbia University and is now a director, Scott Sarciano, Lance Armstrong, who is a cyclist, and Justin Bartha, who is also an actor. While Mary-Kate Olsen and French banker Olivier Sarkozy were married, they were known for awkward public shows of affection. However, their personal life was anything but perfect. Mary-Kate filed for divorce in April 2020, but her plans were put on hold for a while because of COVID-19 rules in NYC that limited divorce entries. In May, she asked for an emergency order right away because she thought Sarkozy had broken their lease without telling her, as he tried to kick her out of their flat. Reports say that Sarkozy gave her a short amount of time to get her things out of the city, which was made harder by city lockdown rules. She says he dismissed her when she asked for more time. In this tough situation, Mary-Kate went to stay with Ashley and her friends outside of town. Even though things were rough, she had a prenuptial agreement that protected her in some ways. The twins had to deal with their own problems at the same time as they lost another loved one. Bob Saget, their beloved TV dad, died suddenly in January 2022. Saget had always been close with his TV kids, like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, even though they weren't in the reboot of Fuller House. He continued to look out for them and keep in touch with them often. When they heard he had died, the twins were very sad because they remembered him as the kindest, most loving man. They paid respect to the important part he played in their lives by going to his funeral. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen chose to stay out of the public eye after dealing with the problems that came with being famous and having personal problems. The quick decision to quit. In 2006, Mary-Kate Olsen made her playing debut in the movie Factory Girl. Her scene was originally cut from the movie that came out in theaters, but it is on the unrated DVD and Blu-ray. She had a recurring part on the TV show Weeds in 2007. Both Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen said at that time that if they worked together in movies again, it would be as producers. In 2008, Mary-Kate Olsen had a special role on the ABC comedy Samantha, who was a character who was hurting herself and Samantha tried to help her. She was also in the movie The Whackness that same year. In 2011, she did her last starring job in the movie version of the Alex Flynn book Beastly. As of March 2012, both Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen said they were going to stop acting and focus on their fashion jobs. They talked about their goals, which included opening a store as part of their fashion-related future work. In 2015, it was reported that John Stamos would produce and co-star in Fuller House, a show that is a spin-off of Full House and has the same cast. But in May of that year, Mary-Kate and Ashley said they would not be playing Michelle Tanner again. Nickelodeon bought the rights to the twins' movie library a month ago. What made them decide to do that, though? What project did they work on after they were no longer in the spotlight? Check back to find out. A big jump from being entertainers to fashion moguls. Since Mary-Kate's small part in Beastly 2011, the Olsen twins have been Hollywood mysteries. They are often seen wearing big clothes and their hair is messy. Some of the only times they are seen are at events like the Met Gala or Fashion Week, where they push their fashion lines. The Olsen twins aren't likely to be seen on TV or in movies these days. Being on the other side of the camera and running things is hard for us now that we're used to being on the other side. The edit at Net A Porter asked Mary-Kate all about it in 2017. It was easy for them to go from being actors to fashion moguls, but it's clear that they'd rather be in the background than the center. The Olsens don't use social media like a lot of their Hollywood friends do. In the edit, Ashley said that they stay away from that world and would rather live in a safer one. They only showed up on Sephora's Instagram once, in 2016 to promote their business. Elizabeth and James' public show was stylish and important, but they probably won't do it again soon. They have also pulled away from the public eye in their hometown, as they declined to be in the return of Fuller House, which upset many fans. It's not making sense. It looks like the earpiece has 3 monitors, but as fashion makers, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen have built a billion-dollar business while keeping their personal lives very secret. As fashion moguls, they've built a high-end brand that everyone in the business looks up to and respects. Their brand, The Row, is known for making high-end, simple clothes. Dresses from this brand usually cost around $6,500, which is about the same as dresses from Balenciaga and Lanvin. Animal rights campaigners were upset that they sold out of a $39,000 alligator backpack in 2011. They've had some trouble in the fashion world along the way. People who used to work as interns at The Row sued them in 2015 as a group led by Parsons School of Design graduate Chase Delaney. The interns said that Dual Star Entertainment Group, which is owned by the Olsens, stole their wages because they worked 50-hour weeks without getting paid for work that would normally be done by paid workers. The case brought up the bad working conditions, such as the fact that interns were taken to the hospital for dehydration after carrying heavy coats in hot weather. At first, Olsen's lawyers said the case had no basis in fact, but they later agreed to settle out of court by giving $140,000 to 185 interns to be split among them. This settlement took into account the problems that the people who helped build their fashion business had to deal with. The story of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen has been full of ups and downs, and the last few years have been no different. Ashley and Mary-Kate were fashion moguls and ran their own entertainment group. What was it like for them? How easy was it for them? Let's find out. Dual Star is running. In the 1990s, people who knew Mary-Kate and her twin sister Ashley saw how well they could sell themselves and started a production company called Dual Star Entertainment Group. This company made a string of hit TV movies and direct-to-video releases with the twins in them, such as Passport to Paris 1999, Switching Goals 1999, Our Lips Are Sealed 2000, and Winning London 2001. The movie Holiday in the Sun came out in 2001, and the TV show So Little Time ran from 2001 to 2002. Between the late 1990s and early 2000s, Mary-Kate and Ashley quickly became well-known and popular with preteens. Their picture was on many things like clothes, books, perfumes, magazines, movies, posters, and more. From 2000 to 2005, Mattel even made fashion dolls that looked like them. They also played lead roles in other movies, like Getting There in 2002, He Was in Rome in 2002, The Challenge in 2003, and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle in 2003, but only kind of showed up. Mary-Kate and Ashley became co-presidents of Dual Star on their 18th birthday in 2004. Dual Star was started in 1993 after the hit TV show Full House. The brand is now sold in more than 3,000 stores in the US and over 5,300 places around the world. In 2004, they made their last movie together, the romantic comedy New York Minute. It was also Ashley's last playing job. Mary-Kate kept working as an actress on her own for a while, starring in a number of movies and TV shows. Her last acting job was in the 2011 movie Beastly. Their hobbies and projects were often done together, but Mary-Kate was known for her love of horses and was put on an equestrian team. How did she do so well in a job like that? Keep an eye out for when we reveal these information. Mary-Kate's career as an equestrian in 1992, when she was 6 years old, Mary-Kate Olsen started riding horses. She was on the horse team at Campbell Hall while she was there. Moving to New York in 2004 to go to NYU, Olsen quit riding for a while. She finally went back to the sport though, saying that she missed it a lot while she was away. The 38th Hampton Classic Horse Show was won by her horse Marvelous and James Anderson in 2013. Olsen is a professional horse rider who has been going to the Hampton Classic Horse Show in Bridgehampton, New York since 2013. The American Gold Cup was held in North Salem, New York on September 17, 2016. She kept competing as a rider at the Hampton Classic Horse Show from August to September 2017. With her horses Dunotaire Vifet and Fouaille d'Amour, she got some great results. Her horse names are Priam Dollar Boy and Hertog van Murderhof. 7th place was earned by Mary-Kate Olsen and her horse, Dunotaire Vifet, in a group of 40 competitors at the Palm Beach Masters in Wellington, Florida in 2018. Olsen took part in the Longines Global Champions Tour in Madrid, Spain, in May 2019. In their event, she and her horse Naomi came in 6th, but in another event, she and her horse Fatum were disqualified because of a mistake on the track. They won a 1.25-meter two-phase show jumping class at the Longines Global Champions Tour in Chantilly, France, on July 12, 2019. In September 2021, Olsen played in Rome, Italy, as part of the Longines Global Champions Tour. She and her horse, Iowa Van Het Polderhof, came in 2nd place in the two-phase special event on September 16th. After that, on September 18th, Olsen and Dunotaire 5 came in 3rd place in a race against the clock with no jump-off. Let's look at how the Olsen twins' sadness was shown by them. It's so sad what happened to the Olsen kids. Ashley talked about their early years in the business in an honest interview with Nylon. She emphasized how active they were from a very young age. From the very beginning, we've been very involved, she said, adding that this all began when they were only 10 years old. However, this intense involvement cost something, leaving little room for them to just be kids. In an interview with Marie Claire in 2010, Mary-Kate said the same thing about their upbringing. She wouldn't wish it on anyone else. She talked about how looking at old pictures made her feel disconnected from her past, comparing it to being a child performer. The kids' quick rise to fame wasn't something they planned. They got their parts in Full House after their mother sent a picture of them to a casting agency without thinking about it. But there were some hard parts on their trip. John Stamos, who played Uncle Jesse on Full House, said that it was sometimes hard to work with the twins because they cried so much, which made filming tough. At one point, directors even thought about replacing them, but in the end, they were brought back because the new actors didn't work out. Ash was too scared to be on set during the first season, so Mary-Kate did most of the shooting. During their early fame, they were constantly spied on by the press and the public, who often forgot that they were still kids. In a 1991 profile, Jay Matthews of the Washington Post talked about how his family was interested in the Olsen twins, even though they weren't thought to be very good at playing. The twins later had problems with their personality and mental health, because they were always being watched and pressured. Because they were always in the public eye as kids, the Olsen twins story got darker. Do you think that the Olsen twins' successes were worth all the hard times they went through? Would it be best to get back into the spotlight? Please tell us what you think in the space below. Thanks for seeing this movie. We hope it was interesting for you. Remember to like and subscribe. You can watch the next movie on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity news. I'll see you there.